On January 21st, 2026, Educational Testing Service will implement a redesign that changes the TOEFL iBT's duration, its psychometric model, and its scoring scale. For decades, the TOEFL functioned as an academic endurance marathon, demanding 3 hours of sustained focus. The 2026 version compresses that evaluation into a 70 to 90-minute assessment. While the volume of material is lower, the cognitive processing load required for each task is higher. Educators must prepare students for a test that is shorter but demands more immediate accuracy. This redesign aligns the exam with the CEFR. The CEFR, or Common European Framework of Reference for Languages, is an international standard that categorizes language proficiency on a scale from A1 for beginners to C2 for mastery. Reaching the top tiers under this framework requires a specific set of high-speed processing skills. The 2026 exam measures these high-speed responses rather than the 180-minute stamina required by the previous format. The core of this efficiency is a new engine, multi-stage adaptive testing, or MST. Unlike a linear test where every student receives the same fixed sequence of questions, an MST algorithm adjusts the difficulty of the test in real time based on the user's ongoing performance. This diagram illustrates the MST architecture. Questions are grouped into distinct modules. Every candidate begins their exam inside a standard difficulty block, labeled Module 1. Module 1 is a filter. A student's accuracy inside this first block determines which version of Module 2 the algorithm allows them to enter. High accuracy triggers the hard pathway, while lower accuracy routes the student down the easy pathway. This routing dictates the final score ceiling. Being routed to the easy Module 2 permanently caps the maximum possible score a student can achieve, regardless of how they perform for the remainder of the exam. This table details the new scoring metric. The traditional 0 to 120-point scale will be replaced by a band 1 to 6 system. Half-point increments translate directly to CEFR levels. A 5.0 indicates C1 advanced proficiency, and a 6.0 represents C2 mastery. Accessing those C1 and C2 bands is mathematically impossible if a student fails to trigger the hard pathway at the end of Module 1. The algorithm simply does not offer enough points in the easy module to reach the top. Because of this gatekeeper mechanic, classroom instruction must prioritize accuracy from the very first minute. In this system, taking time to slowly warm up into the test is a fatal flaw. The 2026 redesign also alters what the test considers valid English. The test now utilizes a hybrid model, balancing traditional academic rigor with English in daily life. ETS removed niche academic topics to reduce cultural bias, replacing them with subjects relevant to international students from any background. The goal is to ensure that a student's score reflects their language ability rather than their familiarity with Western academic context. In the new reading section, which spans 27 to 30 minutes, the 700-word passages are gone. Academic texts are now condensed to about 200 words, requiring much faster information retrieval. The section introduces a Complete the Words cloze task. A cloze test is an assessment where portions of words are removed from a text and the reader must fill in the blanks. By analyzing the surrounding text to deduce the missing letters, the student proves their morphosyntactic awareness and automatic word recognition. This is paired with the Read in Daily Life task. Students must parse informal texts, like campus emails and text message threads, to extract specific logistical information. The listening section, now 27 to 29 minutes long, measures pragmatic competence. Pragmatic competence is the ability to understand not just the literal definition of words, but the speaker's social intent. This is tested in the Listen and Choose a Response task. Students hear a short phrase and must select the socially correct reply from 4 options. The correct answer relies on understanding conversational conventions. When students face the new academic talks format, the audio runs between 100 and 250 words. They must map the cause and effect logic of the lecture instantly, as the shorter duration allows for less exposition. These input sections prioritize the agility to parse social dynamics and logistical data over the decoding of complex niche vocabulary. The speaking section presents the most aggressive time constraint, lasting exactly 8 minutes. Preparation time is removed. By eliminating the chance to outline an answer, the test measures natural fluency over the ability to recite a rehearsed monologue. The section features a listen and repeat task. The student hears 7 distinct sentences and must repeat them back precisely. This measures phonetic precision, including intonation, rhythm, and stress placement. Following this is the take-an interview task. A virtual AI interviewer delivers 4 increasingly complex questions directly to the student. The student has exactly 45 seconds to deliver their answer to each question, which requires immediate cognitive organization. Without preparation time, students who rely on memorized introductory fillers will struggle to meet the metric for natural spontaneity. The writing section follows a similar logic. The independent essay has been replaced by a 23-minute sprint consisting of 3 microtasks. First is the build a sentence task. The student must sequence word fragments into a grammatically correct sentence based on a prompt. This is a direct measure of syntactic control. Second is the write an email task. In just 80 to 120 words, students must draft a response to a campus situation, demonstrating correct polite register and clear logistics. The output sections are judged by ETS's proprietary AI engines, SpeechRater and eRater. These engines are powered by advanced NLP, or natural language processing. NLP is a branch of artificial intelligence that allows algorithms to interpret and evaluate human language patterns. In the speaking section, SpeechRater's algorithm favors rhythmic fluency and identifies unnatural, robotic pauses. In the writing section, eRater evaluates short, high-density samples. To score well, a text must display perfect grammatical agreement and precise logical connectors. Because these tasks are brief, a single syntactic error is highly visible to the AI rater. The system requires exact grammatical control within very compressed word counts. For ESL professionals, these changes mean the era of teaching the long essay template is ending. Classroom instruction must shift away from teaching isolated academic writing formats towards facilitating dynamic, spontaneous interactions. To build the phonetic precision required for the listen and repeat task, daily classroom drills should utilize shadowing. Shadowing is a technique where a student listens to native speech and repeats it back almost simultaneously, mimicking the exact pronunciation and rhythm. Instructors should also implement rapid-fire, zero-prep interview simulations. This breaks the student's psychological reliance on written notes. Teachers are becoming coaches of instantaneous syntactic control rather than editors of long drafts. Administratively, coordinators must manage a 2-year transition period, spanning from January 2026 to January 2028. During this window, institutional score reports will display both the new band scores and the old 120-point equivalent to aid university admissions offices. For students testing remotely, instructors must enforce the home edition protocol. This requires a sterile testing environment and the use of approved audio equipment, such as cause headsets. Educators should base their curriculum updates on the official ETS adaptive practice environments and mentor guides launching in late 2025. The 2026 TOEFL iBT functions as a metric of a student's ability to communicate at the speed of the modern university environment.